Welcome back to another chapter of Prime Arcana, the Scourge Garden, as we return to the labyrinth of the Iron Deep prison far below the city. A harsh, sour tang hangs in the stale air of the drop zone, mixing with the ever-present musk of rot that clings to the labyrinth's walls. Skogul stands at the edge of the platform, one hand resting against the rust-bitten hilt of his scimitar as he squints deeper into the gloom. Ettin paces a few feet behind him, both hands clutching her axe's haft with a tension that almost seems involuntary. Her ears twitch in irritation. Skogul exhales, still throbbing and wincing in pain from their fight with the giants. His eyes flick to her battered pauldron, scuffed with spider, ichor, and ogre grime. She returned from the fights, unscratched in spirit, if not in flesh, but he can feel a deep frustration building behind the beast's steady glower. Just then, a hot, twisting pang shoots through the pit of Skogul's stomach, like something inside him just woke up and decided to tear its way out. His knees threaten to buckle, and you're hit with a sudden wave of nausea, strong enough to make the edges of your vision wobble. Skogul sucks in a calming breath and pushes through the stabbing wave in his gut. He's felt worse from rancid meat in the wild. A distant echo of screaming splits the silence of the drop zone, coming from the direction of the Descender's tunnel. Then, a different sound slithers in, high-pitched, animalistic shrieking. Ettin's ears flick toward the tunnel. Her grip on her axe tightens. A ragged shrill screams and echoes off the stone walls, full of blind terror. Suddenly, a frail, older kobold stumbles into the chamber, his bony limbs flailing wildly. You see his dull, scaled skin is slick with sweat, and his yellowed eyes roll in abject fear. He nearly trips over his own feet as he sprints toward you both.
Help me, please! It's gonna eat me! It's trying to eat me!
Neither of you barely have any time to process before a massive shape unfurls from the darkness behind him. A giant bat with a wingspan stretching out nearly 10 feet soars out of the tunnel, fangs bared to deliver a shrieking wail that rends your ears. Its eyes glint a sickly, pupilless white as it latches onto the kobold's shoulders with its long, hooked talons. The old man lets out a strangled wail as his feet leave the ground, and you see his clawed hands grasping desperately in the air. His gaze locks onto you, pleading, and then the bat beats its wings, drags him upward, and you hear his scream vanish back into the dark.
Yeah, and then Skogul picks himself off the ground from his new pile of puke, and he just goes, "Never a dull moment."
I don't think I've ever seen that thing before. And then she, nods down towards the pile of puke. Told you not to eat that shit down there.
It's beginning to seem that I should listen to you more often. You've never seen something flying down here?
Not really. I mean, these tunnels get big, but, not big enough for a whole bunch of stuff to be flying around, but I don't know.
He looks at his wounds and kind of maps himself.
Listen, I'm no use to you if I can't use a ranged weapon. Do you know anywhere we could pick up anything?
We can go see what the Descenders have been doing. Maybe there's something left in their stores. I doubt it, but that means following that thing, which I don't think I'd hate too much.
Well, if anything, if you hand me that, I can defend us from above while you stay below.
Give you what? The web spinner or my shield?
I am referring to the shield.
Yeah, that sure as shit ain't happening. Especially not after how you ran from the ogres. Looks like I need all the protection I can have.
I can't argue with you there.
She hands him the web spinner. You want something ranged? How about you handle this?
Yeah, so he takes it and he looks at it and he goes,
Okay, this may prove useful. How many uses are there?
There's 4.
Okay. I will make these count.
Then I guess let's go and see what's going on in that tunnel.
So this is a projectile, right?
Yes. So they're small. I mean, they're maybe the size of a gun.
Yeah.
So, Ettin's boots hammer against the stone as you run down the tunnel. Skogul follows close behind, his longer stride eating the distance with powerful steps, but still lagging just enough to keep her ahead. They burst into a ruined larder. Just as Ettin had said, shattered barrels litter the ground. What's little of their contents are strewn in soggy heaps. Something wet is smeared across the wall. Blood, blackened and drying, streaks down to where a body used to be, but is no longer. Ettin doesn't slow. She vaults over an overturned cask, landing lightly on the balls of her feet as her sharp eyes scan the way forward. Roll athletics or acrobatics to bypass the spike trap in the hallway.
All right.
Ettin succeeds. And so does Skogul. So both of you describe how you guys just bypass this spike trap that's sticking up out of the concrete ground here.
Ettin does a little kitty step through it.
So it's just like weaves through it, like beep, 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 beep.
Yep.
Like those videos you see on YouTube of like a hallway with like 40 bottles.
Opening the cups, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Skogul grabs his side and kind of looks at the pit and winces, like hoping to God he'll clear it, knowing how terrible his athletics has been, and he takes a tentative jump.
And lands on the other side. The cavernous chamber that was once the central guard post opens before you. In the flickering half-light of a huge brazier, you see the last of the descenders fighting for their lives. A goblin scrambles backward on all fours, his jagged shiv slick with fresh gore. A drow snarling as he thrusts his shiv at a shrieking shape above him. A one-winged Aarakocra darts between the chaos with bloody feathers trailing behind him. Finally, a gnome, screaming and thrashing, dangles upside down, caught in the vice-gripped talons of a massive albino bat. You see that the old kobold that came out asking for your help lies dead in a heap on the floor underneath one of the large brown bats. The other giant bats circle above the ground, their screeches piercing, echoing in the chamber. Their leathery wings whip up loose debris, sending dust and broken splinters spinning through the air as you just hear the incessant like from like their screeching calls. One bat lunges at the drow, who barely twists away in time, and his shiv cuts a thin line across its wing. The creature hisses, banks sharply, and prepares for another strike. The goblin stumbles against a toppled crate, his knife swinging wildly at the air as a second bat dives toward him. The albino bat screeches, flapping harder, lifting the gnome higher and higher, as the gnome screams,
Get it off me! Get it off me! It's gonna tear my leg off!
Should we?
We shall.
You both get a free attack here before we kick off initiative.
Are any of them on the ground, like any of the bats?
None of the bats are on the ground.
Okay. And how high up are they?
About 10 feet.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're in business. My whole existence is to draw attention, so let's do that. And I'd like to spinneret or throw it at him.
Okay, so that's a 7. Let me roll this. Let me see what this thing's armor class is. Armor class is 13. So you run up. Skogul, runs up and he aims the spinneret like Spider-Man at this giant floating bat and just squelches it. And you see this just spray of like white sticky goo just fly like right between the bat's flapping wings, like between its shoulder, ear, and wing, zip up and just like stick onto the ceiling.
Skogul makes a loud oops.
And it's now Ettin's free attack.
Bonus action rage. And then I would like to run and vault off of Skogul since he's already 10 feet up in the air
Okay, so you're in the air now.
and attach myself to this bat.
Okay.
I want to land on the bat if that's possible.
Roll athletics or an acrobatics, either one.
Okay.
That's a success. Everybody roll initiative.
I feel like Skogul should never roll first, honestly. It's getting to be worse.
And in doing so, Haley, please introduce your Threadling character.
Excuse me?
She's going to get to play with us.
My Threadling character is named Jonbon Afondon, and he is just a little guy. He looks like a little rooster. He's a Phallix, and he rolled a 21.
Whoa.
I love him. I got him on there, and I was like, ooh, I like that. That's fun.
So we got the giant bat got an 8. The albino got a 20. Skogul got an 8. Jonbon got a 21, and Ettin got a 21. So Ettin and Jonbon roll off. Skogul and giant bat roll off.
All right.
Okay. So the initiative order is Ettin, Jonbon, the albino bat, the descenders, Skogul, and then the giant bats.
Just always annoyed by his initial rolls at anything. It's like hilarious because Ettin's like, oh yeah, I want to see what you're capable of, and then every time he's like, here, let me stick myself to a wall.
Well, it was just kind of like really like metaphorically hilarious because like it was another moment of him rushing in and then like almost an automatic like direct metaphor of like premature ejaculation.
He blew his load. Well, literally,
He
way
like
too
literally
early.
blew his load too quick. So it's Ettin's go. She's on the back of this giant bat.
I am going to take a strike at it, aiming specifically for its wings, basically trying to get it to not be in the air anymore.
Well, that's a hit.
21. All right.
17 damage. When Ettin swings her axe down into this bat's back, it immediately makes this just cracking sound as you see the right wing separate from its shoulder, and it just and immediately starts to sink to the ground. Skogul watches as the goblin drops from its feet and hits the ground hard, and the bat follows after it, landing on top of the goblin.
And that's my turn.
Okay, so Jonbon.
Seeing that she kind of brought it down to the ground, he's trying to take his opportunity to finish it. So he's going to throw a dagger at it.
That's a hit. As the dagger hits the giant bat in the chest, it like rears back and like lifts a bit up off of Skelcher's body, allowing him to roll out. So the albino bat is going to attack the drow, whose name is Himkus, because they were already in a little row together. It is going to use its claw attack on him, getting a 20 on an 11 armor class. So that's going to do... Ooh, 12 damage to the drow. Okay. It only has one attack. So that means it is the Descender's turn. So the drow is, he's going to strike back against the giant albino bat. It has a 15 AC. He got a 22. That's a hit. Blasted thing! And so he does 6 damage. The gnome is going to run around here and cower behind this brazier as he sees that everybody's sort of busy fighting the bats now. He's going to try to avoid the combat, but the Aarakocra instead steps up to protect his friend Himkus, and he too is going to attack with his shiv. Missing. Dang. 12 on a 13 AC. So he swings his little blade at the bat, but the bat has already sort of pulled back up into the sky after the drow attacked it, and screeches down at him, like flaps its wings. Skelch is going to roll back over and try to bury his knife into the back of the bat that was trying to carry him away. 16, that's a hit. And everyone watches as Skelch stands up, screams at the giant bat, and goes, "Not me! I'm not gonna be your food!" And he buries the knife into the back of its head, and it just like yanks its head back, and Ettin sort of like rolls off into this like perfect roll, just like stand up, like holding her axe, like looking down at him. And he turns back up and he looks at her and he's breathing all heavy and he's like, "Thanks." And it's like just dead between the two of you.
She gives him a curt nod and turns her attention to the next one.
Now it's Skogul's turn.
Alrighty. So yeah, he's just gonna use the spinneret on that one.
Okay.
Like after he watches the this one expire, he nods like just like Ettin, and he's like, okay. I mean, we finally have a little bit of help. And he shoots the spinneret at this bag here.
Light it up, man.
Please, don't be a bitch.
Oh no!
Yep. So as you will recall, there's 2 things that can happen in this situation. Both of which involve bullshit for me and getting stuck to a wall again.
Dude, this is great. This is great.
Oh, fuck my whole
All right,
life.
roll your fucking roll. What do you got to roll for that? Because I know that was part of
Oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, do I have to roll against
Yeah,
something?
yeah, you got to roll against it.
Okay.
You might not.
Oh,
might
the
not get
DC
stuck.
12 to escape with okay.
So that's your next turn, though. So this turn,
Oh, to break out.
She hears his curse and she looks back at him and sees him just in this pile of web stuff. And she rolls her eyes so hard, Skogul could probably hear them.
oh my god, they're just like.
It sounds like granite boulders going.
Yeah.
Skogul lowers his head in just like the most shame he's ever felt as a giant.
So the giant bat who he just tried to blast at is going to attack Ettin because she is the closest. This giant bat next to it is going to attack Skelch because Skelch was prey and the closest to it. So the first one, let's go ahead and roll an attack on Ettin. It's going to come in sort of swooping and then lean down to try to bite at your head. 15. That is a miss.
I mean, it's like, I don't want to say Matrix style, but you know how, like in the movies when they're doing fast combat and somebody's just like dodge, 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 and it's like so fluid. She's not even putting any effort into dodging it.
All right, it's going to try to bite at Skelch. Second one. That is a 12, and his AC is an 11. So, yeah, immediately after he, like, stabs and kills this one and looks up and thanks Ettin, this second one just, like, swoops in, leans down, and tries to bite him on his head. Succeeding, doing 5 damage, and everyone watches as Skelch the Goblin, his head in this second bat's jaws is lifted up off of the ground. It is now Ettin's turn.
Is she able to catch this bat before he goes back up to his 10 feet? Like, is she able to reach him?
Absolutely. It has not yet lifted entirely. It blew its turns just like Skog's blowing his wads everywhere on biting this goblin. So yeah, it can't lift back up and end the same turn.
I mean, if this is one way of ending the patriarchy, I guess this is.
Alright, so she's gonna swing at this guy. Oh, the 10 doesn't hit.
No, it does not. All right, Jonbon, what you got?
Jonbon needs to pick up his dagger because he threw the only one he had. So he's gonna go over to this guy. He's gonna move, and he picked up his dagger. He's got it in his hand. He's kind of hefting it, kind of throwing it back and forth between his hands. But that's his turn.
The giant bat is going to attack Hemkus again because the Aarakocra missed. It's going to go ahead and do a claw strike. That is a hit. So yeah, this guy's bloody. He's not looking good. Those 2 strikes on this drow, he basically like a big gash across one shoulder and then another one across his chest, and he's just like, ugh! Damn, sucks. He's not looking good because if he tries to flee, that's an opportunity attack from this bat. So he's just gonna have to buckle down and go ahead and attack again because it's either attack or just give up some hit points, and he's low. Let's see what we got. 14 on 15 AC, dang, so he barely misses. So nobody particularly sees this because you guys are off doing your own little battle over here. But he swings up his shiv and he shouts to the Aarakocra, Vendis, it got me on that one. And he like just slashes it across its ankle as the Aarakocra Vendis looks over his shoulder and shouts back, Keppel, get up here! And then strikes himself at the albino bat, shouting, don't be a coward! That's a miss. That's a 12. Yeah, they are just missing. Keppel sees that Hemkus is bleeding, and terrified, he shouts to Hemkus. He's like, run! Get out of there! But he stays in place. And it is now Skogul's turn.
Yeah, it's just a strength save, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's do this, please. Come on, buddy. There it goes, 19.
Okay, that is a success. Go ahead and describe how he breaks free from the webbing.
He breaks free of red with the web with like a groan, and he just like pulls it off. And yeah, that's it, right?
Okay, so another giant bat attack on Ettin, which is a Miss with an 8. Another giant bat attack on Skelch. A 17. Another hit. So it just bites down harder on his head, doing 8 damage. Okay, so Skelch is just screaming. He's screaming in pain.
Ettin's gonna continue to focus on this guy right in front of her and is gonna attempt to hit him on his downswing. 21.
That is
better.
very much a hit.
Holy shit.
Describe how Ettin would like to kill this giant bat. That was its full hit point count.
Oh my god. As it swoops down to try and bite her again, she catches her axe right in his mouth and just clearly just cuts the top of his head off.
As it's flying, it catches its mouth and it keeps moving, but your axe stays in place and it basically decapitates itself.
And then she's going to go ahead and move to start helping over here with this guy.
So then it is now Jonbon's turn.
So how high up is the bat that's got Skelch in his mouth now?
You could reach up and attack its feet for sure, melee wise.
Okay, so he's gonna use his dagger, the dagger finesse move, and try to stab at its feet, cut its ankles.
Get its fucking toes.
That's a hit.
Doing 5 damage.
Okay.
So he's just like slashing at his feet.
Yeah, like prison shank wise.
Yes, and that's his turn.
All right, it is the albino bat's turn again, and it is going to continue attacking the drow because he's the only one that has wounded it yet. So it is going to do a bite attack on the drow. That's a 22. That's a hit. It leans forward in the air. It just dips its body down and bites the drow's head off. And Vendus is like, "No, Hemgers!" If anybody turns to follow his scream, they see the body of the drow just drop to the floor, headless, and the giant albino bat is just eating his head. And it is now the Descender's turn. So Vendus instantly strikes at the bat. 18. That's a hit. That's a hit, y'all. He finally did some shit. Doing 5 damage. All right. He has unfortunately gained the attention of the albino bat. And the gnome, seeing that Hemkis is dead, pisses himself and starts to cry. And it is now Skogul's turn.
Okay, buddy. Let's see what you got. Skogul's gonna move to... Oh, actually, no, because knowing how terribly he's rolling right now, I'm not gonna try and shoot over people. Okay, yeah, let's do some distraction stuff. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna, again, try and do the web against this living guy right here. Okay, two. Two. He did it too. He did it too. He did it too. One more. All right. He's gonna sit there and just no, he's not even gonna say anything. He's just gonna his eyes are so full of rage, internal rage, that he can't even express emotion, sound, or anything other than inward shame.
So I think what has happened is that Ettin didn't know she needed to preserve it. So it is rotted and nasty.
That is being far too kind. Far too kind.
It is now the giant bat's turns. So really the only thing that this giant bat can do is sort of raise higher in the air. So it goes from the... Well, here's the thing, y'all. As it tries to raise higher and get away from you, it unlocks a fucking opportunity attack from both Jonbon and Ettin. But as it's lifting up to try to get away from you guys, it's also going to bite down on Skelch's head again. So you two both go ahead and take your free attacks, and I'm going to roll this attack on Skelch. That's a hit with a 19. Oh my goodness, Jonbon with a fucking 20.
Jonbon.
Skelch is alive, but he's hurting. So Ettin hit with 26 damage. That's a kill. So collectively, Jonbon and Ettin just did 38 damage to this giant bat who only had 22 hit points. So how did the two of you kill this thing together?
feel like I would have hooked it on my axe and brought it down closer to where Jonbon could really get a...
Oh, he's just shivving the fuck out of it then, yeah. He's just stabbing as fast as he can, trying to get the goblin out of his mouth.
He's gutting it on its belly, and there's just blood pouring down all over Jonbon. And it lets go of Skelch. Skelch drops to the ground, and so too does the giant bat. Dead. What is Skogul thinking and or feeling in this moment?
He just feels shame. That's it.
Poor buddy. He can do it. I believe in him.
Yeah, he's got one more load to blow. Yeah.
Aw.
There's one more.
His last load.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's now Ettin's turn.
Well, since that guy's dead, she's going to go ahead and come over here and join the fight over here.
Wow, that Aarakocker's lucky as fuck.
Is he within range that she could hit?
Yeah, because it's been biting and fighting the drow and the Aarakocker's.
Gotcha. Okay, so he's been pretty low. All right.
That's a miss.
Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah. Is he within range that she could hit?
Yeah, because it's been biting and fighting the drow and the Aarakocker's.
Gotcha. Okay, so he's been pretty low. All right.
That's a miss.
Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonbon, your turn.
So Jonbon is, for his bonus action, he's going to use steady aim, where you give yourself advantage in your next attack roll on the current turn. You can use this if he hasn't moved.
Okay.
So he's going to throw his dagger again with advantage.
That's a hit with a 19. Roll that damage.
Yeah,
Okay,
only
3.
3.
All right, that's good. All three of you kind of see it stick into the giant bat's shoulder. You know, nicks across it and clatters back onto the floor. And it is now the
Throw it
albino
and pick
bat's.
it up. Throw it and pick it up.
Yeah, it's the albino bat's turn. And it was facing Vendis, so it has yet to sort of be aware of Ettin. So it's going to attack him. That's a 10, that's a miss. So it is now Vendis' turn. He sees that Ettin has joined the fight. He's still furious about Hemkis's death, and he saw that dagger fly by. So, you know, he's in it. So he's going to go ahead and strike again with his own shiv at the albino bat. 14, that is a miss. At that point, Skelch runs past Jonbon down here to Keppel, grabs him by his shoulders, and he looks at him in the eyes and he says, "Look at me! I got holes in my head. You get up and you go help Vandis. Hemkis is dead." And Keppel's like, I can't. And Skelch smacks him in the face and he goes, "Get up or I'll stab you myself." And then Keppel gets up and Keppel runs up on shaky legs to join the fight. And it is now Skogul's turn.
Skogul's gonna run up and grapple the bat.
Oh, shit.
He's sick of the spinneret bullshit.
Well, that is very much a success.
You can use unarmed strike. On a hit, unarmed strike deals bludgeoning damage equal to a +1 strength. You are proficient in unarmed strikes. Okay. +3. It's +3.
So it takes 4 damage.
Oh,
So
just by me grabbing.
Skogul hits it so hard. He runs over, leaps through the air, and collides with this thing so hard to grab it that it takes 4 damage.
Is it? Am I heavy enough to bring it down?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think he's doing a callback. So he leaps over the beast's back, not vaulting over her, but he just leaps over her and grabs the bat and just like closes his eyes and hopes it works as they sink to the ground.
And he lands on the ground, and he can feel this giant albino bat just thrashing in his arms like crazy, wild. This just beast, and he's just screaming that like it's the sound in here that is echoing off of this room. Actually, you know what? Everybody roll a Constitution save for me for the sound, or be deafened for. Okay, that's a success for Skogul, success for Ettin. So Jonbon is deaf. Like temporarily, like it's just like boo, like in your ears is like you kind of hear everybody's screams fade out, but Ettin and Skogul can still hear each other as this thing is just like going fucking crazy. So because Skogul is holding on to this in this way, and you guys are already sort of surrounding it, we're gonna go ahead and initiate essentially the new flanking rule, which is Gang Stomp. And for our game, flanking essentially will be initiated when there is 1 enemy left on the battlefield, and that there is at least 3 good characters. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good characters. So every one of you now has advantage on this giant bat, and it has disadvantage on all of its rolls.
Gangsta.
Yeah, so it's Ettin's turn.
All right. Now that Skogul was actually doing something, she's gonna aim her axe and take a hit.
There you go.
18.
That is a hit. Oh my gosh. All right. It's not dead, but it's wounded. It's
She
below
is
half.
bolstered by seeing Skogul do something that she deems of worth and aims her axe in between like where his arms are and like where his legs are, and sinks her axe into the side of the bat.
It screams in pain as it is now Jonbon's turn.
So Jonbon is holding his ears and he's yelling, I can't hear! I can't hear! And then he's going to dash with cunning action. So he's dashing over here and he's grabbing his dagger,
Hell yeah. All right.
shaking his head, trying to be able to hear, but he can't hear anything. So it's very like wob 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 wob.
Yeah. The bat has disadvantage on everything right now because of Gang Stomp, and it is going to do a strength save to try to break this grapple. You roll off for me as well, Steve. It got a 19.
Oh, damn.
23. Good job, dude. So it fails its break. Your muscles, your giant rippling blue half-giant muscles swell as it flexes its bat wings to try to break your arms, but nope, you hold on.
No, he's just kind of silent. He's got an inward rage that he's really hoping is giving him the strength.
With disadvantage, it is going to try to lean its neck and head back and try to bite at Skogul. That is a miss with a fail. That is going to be the Descender's turn now. Vendus is going to take his advantage attack. Come on, Vendus. You've watched your friend die. That's a 10. That's a miss. Keppel is going to finally do something. Puts his shiv out with both hands in front of him. Just runs forward to try to like pierce it right in its belly, right a couple inches beneath Skogul's arms. And misses. Skelch then is going to run around here and join the attack and strike with his own little shiv. Little buddy did try. That's a 15. That's a hit. Skelch is in it. He does damage. Come on, Skelch. 4 damage on Skelch. So the bat feels the little goblin's dagger dag into its hip. Just
I'm taking a look at the taming rules. Is this considered a wild animal?
100% it is considered a wild animal.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and convince it to give up, because that's the only way it's going to survive.
I mean, all of its buddies are dead and you guys have it surrounded.
As I'm grappling it just keeps getting wound after wound after wound, and then I kind of wake up out of my like rage-filled stupor. Give up now. It's the only way to survive. I extend a hand towards everyone else in a hold pattern, because they know I've got it like completely locked in. They're all
so
watching.
You've
me.
got it locked in one-armed?
Yeah, one arm. I whisper into the back of its ear.
Go ahead and roll first off, go ahead and roll either persuasion or intimidation to get everybody to stop fighting first.
Oh, yeah, like I would have to disengage.
Because
them.
you're in the heat of combat, so they have to understand. Okay.
Yeah, it's neat.
Nobody is broken from combat. So you've said this, now roll an animal handling check to see
here's
what
the
happens
of
with the
one.
bat.
15.
The bat slumps in your arms and stops fighting back. It's not immediately tamed, but it has slumped to like, it's realized that like it's trapped. That being said, it's Ettin's turn and she has not broken from combat.
She would try to hit it again. Holy shit.
That is a fail. Wow. That's very interesting. It is Jonbon's
Yeah.
turn. And you
Jonbon's fully deaf,
Yeah, that's true. Holy shit. Okay.
but he is deaf. But he did also just watch it, like kind of fully deciding that it's going to lay down on the ground, right?
In his arms, at least.
And I'm going to go ahead and argue that the confusion of being fully deaf and watching this thing stop fighting will give him pause enough that I think he would disengage.
Roll Either a wisdom or an intelligence check for me.
Wisdom.
That's a
Oops,
success.
I still have advantage.
That-
I still
that-
have advantage on.
Yeah, no, it's advantage on all rolls right now.
Oh, okay.
That's what Gang Stomp does. That was a 20, so that was a success. So I will concede that Jonbon is aware of these things. Okay, so that being said, it is now the albino bat's turn, and because it has broken from combat, essentially what you see happen is that it does slump down to the ground with Skogul sort of like standing on top of it over it, like almost like in a chokehold, like leaning, like bearing down on it. Like he's got it like locked down. Like he's not just holding it now, he's like holding it like down. And it is now the Descenders' turns, and I'm going to go ahead and roll an intelligence check for them to see if they are smart enough to fucking not attack, because they did watch that thing bite their fucking friend's head off. Vendis is going to take his attack. Like, he sees that the beast is down, and he's going to just jab his fucking dagger right into it with a 24, doing 4 damage. Okay. Keppel, though, is terrified. He's not going to do anything. Skelch, he's fucking pissed. The thing had him in the air, his head in its mouth. So he's going to leap onto its back and stab onto it. Hit with a 25. 4 damage. All right, it is now Skogul's turn.
Yeah, I mean, he needs the intimidation. All right, no, we were doing persuasion before. He's doing intimidation now.
Okay, yeah, it's your choice always, bud.
Yeah, so knowing that this isn't working, he's going to intimidate, saying,
Call off the attack. It has relented.
That is a success with the 21. When he yells that, both Vendis and Skelch stop attacking and back up.
The rule of the wilds is survival, and we can only do that together.
Kind of gives this like, and then its ears fold down, and it just like completely like gives up and like lays down on the cold cobblestone ground beneath you and like pulls its wings in and like makes itself as small as it possibly can and like tucks its head underneath its chest to like in terror, essentially expecting to die.
Watching it, and after just missing her last strike and seeing that it has given up its fight, whereas like before she was in that rage and not paying attention, but with that miss she's kind of clued in more to what's going on, and she just holds her axe down at the side and is just breathing heavily, not picking up to strike it again.
The combat is over.
Beastmaster, it worked.
Holy fucking shit, you guys literally didn't expect that tonight.
Like, that is why I play this game. Like,
that was very
that
cool.
feeling right there. Hell yes. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed how that played out. The story demanded.
Skogul he had to fucking fail with those webs to piss him off enough to jump on his back.
That shit was hilarious.
He's fucking furious. So bad.
Woo!
The screech of the albino bat dies on the floor as it curls itself up and lies still. Blood pools beneath the others and beneath the drow across the cobblestones. The surviving descenders are scattered around the wreckage, each one worse for wear. And the goblin looks back up at Ettin and Skogul and says, "We should thank you. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you two."
Glad I can help. Maybe we could use this as an opportunity to trade, do a little tit for tat.
Skogul stands over the bat, and he's kind of more focused on it than he is the conversation going around.
Eric Crocker like ruffles his one wing and it like gives it like a weak flap, and he's like, "Ugh, broken." And he looks over at Ettin and he says, "You're quick, reckless. I see that Carbuncle wasn't a fluke. Thank you for coming back. I don't know how much we have to trade, but you know how hard it is to keep food down here?" And then like he kind of like points around and you see that like a lot of the barrels that they had remained and like that they had sort of like brought into this back area to protect. Like the bats had like destroyed, and there's like food just like spread out across the floor, like open. Some of it's ruined, like some of it's mashed, some of it's not. Some of you see like food that you could eat just like sprawled across the floor. The gnome kind of like looks up at the goblin and he's like, am I alive? And the goblin's just like, shut up. Like turns and looks at Jonbon. This is your fucking fault. Those bats didn't come down here on their own. You led them right to us. And looking over at Skogul and Ettin, the Aircocker adds, the Phalanx only just showed up. Was telling us he was one of a couple Black Claws sent out to round up prison stragglers. Said the well's the safest place in the labyrinth, that we should consolidate before the warden floods the tunnels with city guards, before the chain reapers come carving through again. And he like looks over at Jonbon and he goes, but you can't trust a gutter rooster. Before we could even think about it, the bats swooped in. And he like fluffs his wing back at Jonbon and he goes, creatures like that don't just leave their hunting grounds without reason. If they chase you from Blacklaw territory, it's because you did something.
Ettin's ears perk up hearing that he's part of the Black Claws.
Skogul, he's still really trying to get the lay of the land here. So to him, it's all just squabbling.
Jonbon is feeling indignant. He's not happy that they're just like, they're in a fucking prison and they're like, oh, you just brought all this shit on us. And it's like, bitch, you know, there's danger around every corner. So he like clucks and he says, ugh. Y'all ever hear of a fella calls himself Monster Manuel?
Nope.
And the goblin sneers and he's like, ain't no one stupid enough to call themselves that.
He's not only stupid enough to say it, he's crazy enough to mean it. Then he reaches down, like very tentatively, like watching Skogul, but he goes to like touch at the bat. Manuel definitely sent this. He's a wild beastmaster down here I ran afoul of while working my way over here.
And the Aircocker's like, beastmasters don't exist.
Skogul looks at him and he goes,
You're staring at one.
And he looks over at you kind of like with wild eyes.
Jonbon kind of like kicks at the ground. Well, Black Claws tried to bring him into the fold. Thought maybe he'd want to be part of something bigger. I mean, something safer at least. He weren't interested. Any ever seen a man wear another... Any ever seen a man wear another man's hands as gloves?
I know. Now you're staying out of that.
Well, yeah. He's got this spot between here and Black Claw Well. I stumbled upon it while I was picking my way through the tunnels looking for a shortcut to the drop zone. Thought I'd found a stash worth singing about. Turns out it was his, for lack of a better term, I guess it was his workshop.
And the gnome's like, what kind of workshop?
Kind where he strings up folks too slow to run away. Saw an elf strung up by his ankles, still twitching. Gruesome. Manuel was carving into his bones. He had a pair of hands, giant hands, stitched up like knits, wearing them while he worked. I didn't stick around to ask where he got them.
So you're saying he's small.
How do I even say this? I'm saying he likes wearing other things on his body as clothes.
And the Aircocker's like, charming. And you led his pets straight to us?
I didn't lead them nowhere. I ran away. They must have followed. That's not my fault.
The gnome just like curls up and starts rocking back and forth. And he's like, I don't want to be gloves. I don't want to be gloves.
Are you trying to get back to Black Claw Well?
Yeah, I mean, now that we've sorted all this stuff out, why do you ask? And he kind of like narrows his eyes at her. I've seen you around before.
I haven't gotten too far into the labyrinth, but definitely looking to explore more. And this Manuel guy roaming around, would you like an escort back?
When she says that, before Jonbon can respond, the gnome like suddenly looks up at Ettin and he goes, where's Himbrel? She knows that name. The Hedgel, the one who helped her for a day some 2 weeks back. The goblin spits out a glob of blood on the floor and says, Himbrel said he was going to go help the beast. Said cleaning up after her was safer than waiting for the chain reapers to string him up like they did the rest of us. We told him not to go. Said it was stupid to follow someone stupid enough to do the warden's dirty work, but he went anyway. Damn fool. Where is he?
He didn't have too much sense about him. They went to go explore more into the spider world, and as soon as he decided he was going to go step into the webs, his little hedgy spikes got him all wound up and caught in it, and he wasn't able to break free, and the spiders ate him.
Oh. Go ahead and roll a persuasion. Okay, yeah. That is enough for them to kind of nod, knowing that he was a little guy, and he was more of his mouth was a lot bigger than his body was, and he was very reckless, and he often made stupid mistakes. So him wandering into a spider's nest and getting wound up and eaten kind of sounds like a himbrel thing to do. So they all kind of like hang their heads in sadness, but they're not going to hold it against you.
How about you tell us what you've been doing for the warden?
I was tasked with taking down big beasts here and there. I think he'd be happy if I let him know that Manuel was up to something, and well, now he's not going to be a problem anymore.
He kind of like narrows his eyes at her and looks at the others. Y'all ever notice how it's only ever folks like us down here? Ain't no fat belly politicians in these halls, no gilded nobles. Just us. And you're working for them? Tribunal don't give two shits about whether any of us did the crime or not. They just need to look like they're keeping order, while Uptown drowns in coin and Low City drowns in bodies. Ain't about right or wrong or punishment. We're all just down here making sure the warden's machine keeps moving, and you're helping.
So you would rather drown?
He waves that off because he's not interested in Skogul.
I'm just interested in getting the hell out of here. I've got things outside this city I need to take care of. This is nothing for me.
And the goblin grumbles towards Jonbon. Why are you down here, bird?
I got tossed down here because I had the gall to deliver some rare herbs from the Fairlands to Low City. Exotic stuff, sure, but nothing wicked. Just medicine for us too broke to pay some uptown hospital's cutthroat fees. City guard called it contraband, busted me for smuggling. Maybe I was. They made it sound like I was running poison through the streets. What about y'all? What grand sins put you down here?
And the Aarakocra lets out sort of a derisive snort and says, I read messages for the Thieves Guild. And the goblin scoffs and says, I just ran a still. Some real good shine, too. One cup knocking Mino flat on his ass, but no paperwork. The gnome just says, I stole books.
I mean, Skogul's kind of surprised that these weak-ass crimes are what got them down there. And he looks to the bat and looks to the crew, and he goes, I tried to cut someone in half.
Yes. Everyone takes one step back from Skogul.
And Ettin literally doesn't care about what got anybody down here because she's so self-absorbed in her story. She didn't do anything to end up in here. She doesn't even know why she's down here.
You don't know why you're down here, but you got the eye of the warden, huh?
I couldn't tell you anything more than that. I woke up and I was here. Last thing I remember was being betrayed by some fucking dwarves. And she says it with so much disdain.
He's very, very skeptical of Ettin, but he did come over here for a reason. Well, I mean, I was over here to extend an invitation. Saying that we got a paradise down here. There's nothing like that in this whole place. We got water. We got numbers. Might have the last spot left where folks ain't foaming at the mouth to bleed each other dry. You guys rather keep dodging God knows what in these damn hallways. Well, I ain't trying to stop you. But it's a whole lot harder to kill 100 folks than it is to kill 5. You want to walk me back? I'll show you the way.
The goblin says, what about the Chain Reapers? What about the warden and his guards? You think we can just sit tight at the well and they'll forget we exist? We all live happily ever after? Like, before Jonbon can respond, the gnome is like still shaky, and he looks over at the goblin and he goes, "It has to be better than here, all out in the open with any defenses." And he like looks up at Ettin and Skogul and he goes, well, he looks up at Ettin and he says, "Unless, would you take us down to the black cells? Could we hide down there?"
No.
And the goblin goes, "Well, I'm not staying here alone."
Great. Lead the way.
Skogul kind of stands and he goes, "Is this the last time we'll be in this area?"
She shrugs at him and says, "Depends what ends up happening. I mean, if you need something, take it now."
First things first, he wants to see what they could start stowing from, the busted open barrels from the previous attack, because he wants to distract the bat while he starts, carving up his friends. I think he bends over and picks up something that looks like a grain or a fruit or something that the bat would consume, and he takes it over underneath the bat and he goes, "Eat this. You'll need your strength."
Roll an animal handling there for me, bud.
Alrighty. Oh, an 8.
So the bat does not immediately start to eat. We'll cycle back on that here in a little bit. It keeps its head tucked in under its belly and its wings. It's actually not even looking at anybody. So if you were to start hacking these things up, it would not see it.
Yeah, so he moves over to one of the bats and he pulls out his scimitar and just starts finding what he can take off of them.
Okay.
Straight up field dressing, just like he would in the wild.
Go ahead and roll a survival check for me.
There we go.
That's a 24. That is very much a success on literally every single thing. So he finds all of them. 6 wing leathers. The second one would be the echolocation glands.
Cool.
And then the ear flaps.
And wow.
There is the hide. I would say that you would know that it would take roughly about 6 hours to sort of do this whole thing.
There is food here for the foreseeable future. I think we should take the time to secure it before it rots.
The goblin goes, "You know how to do that?"
What, you think I was born in a dungeon?
Even Ettin is looking at the goblin sideways like, "Don't you know this?"
And so, yeah, Skogul kind of like looks to Ettin with almost a sense of assurity, like, this is our chance to gain strength. Like, that's what he's conveying in his look.
All right, we'll rest here. Let's barricade up one of these sides. What do you need from us to do your processing?
Awesome. Like, Skogul just nods and gets right to work butchering one of the bats. And he goes, "Someone set up a brazier for jerky. Someone set up a brazier for food for the next 2 days. We need to make sure this is cooked quickly or it will rot."
Everything Ettin is doing is strangely familiar to him. He doesn't have to give her a whole lot of direction. It's just right and familiar.
Wow. He feels a sense of relief that something finally makes sense to him, but it's also a little disconcerting because he's used to giants knowing how to do this, not little cats. And he gets to work butchering.
As he gets to work butchering, you watch as Vendis, Keppel, and Skelch all carry the body of Himkus up here to this tunnel, where you see that there are maybe 15 or 16 bodies covered in tarps of descenders who didn't make it. And he has added the last one on top of the pile, and you can hear them all sort of mumbling quietly and talking amongst each other about things that they've experienced down here together, and what they went through with Himkus. And
Jonbon, I would say, is setting the fires up like Skogul asked. I think that he recognizes that those two are kind of in charge of the situation right now, so he's preparing the fires to cook the meat, like not getting in her way, very intentionally avoiding getting in her way.
And over this time, Steve, like as the food is being cooked and you're stripping off the parts from these giant bats, go ahead and roll another animal handling check for me.
Even worse.
Yeah, so we're gonna break it into 2-hour chunks. So, 2 hours, after the first one, you come back and you check and you see that hasn't touched the food yet.
Come on, you need your strength, and the only way that you were going to get out of this is if we do it together.
It's pulled its head out a little bit, but it's kind of shuddering, like it's obviously afraid. So then on the second check, he would come back. Skogul then would be at roughly the 4-hour mark. With that 18, I would say that is a success. So at the 4-hour mark, when he comes back, he sees that the bat has at least eaten the food and the good berry. It is still sort of shying away from him, like it won't let him touch it, in a friendly way, but it is at least looking at him.
Yeah, so while the bat looks at him, Skogul does the open hand gesture that he's done several times before, just to show that he is really not here to cause any damage here. And then he puts his fingers into the bottoms of his lower lip, and he pulls them down, and he pulls his lips up in a display of, hey, we both got teeth, we're going to use them. It's just a matter of how and when.
And it's watching him. This is it's a big creature. Let me look at the
Yeah, how tall is it?
It is a huge sized creature.
Whoa, huge. Okay.
Okay, guys, this thing is 15 feet.
So it's bigger than me.
It's bigger than you. It is 16 feet tall when it stands up to its full height. So when it's walking normally, like if it were to follow you down a hallway, like on its like elbow wing things, it would probably be bent over, so it would be like 8 feet tall. So still very much bigger than like Ettin is.
Now that I know really how big it is, Skogul does that same gesture with his teeth and looks to him and he goes, "Your teeth are much bigger than mine, and with them together we will eat."
Go ahead and roll one last animal handling for me with advantage this time. In the last 2 hours of this 6-hour chunk, how does Skogul really sort of focus and hone his time in on this bat?
Yeah, so as he gets things together and he sees how we have, stripped his former brethren, there's probably a pang of shame and guilt with it. Your brothers have fallen so that we may survive. Over the course of that 2 hours, he just spends time like sitting next to him, trying to get an understanding of how long he's been down here. You are still your own master, but we will need your aid. What is your name? What should we call you?
You just hear this like dun, 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 as there's this like echolocation that like just pings out through the room.
He kind of listens to it and he goes, "I think in time I will understand and be able to translate that. What say we leave this hell?"
The bat kneels before him all the way, sort of doing like a yoga stretch pose, head down, ready to follow.
Skogul looks around and he's checking in. He's just doing a visual check on everyone around him.
I would ask, as you guys are ready to depart, once you kind of gather the 3 leather bags and you're ready to go, who leads the way?
Quick question.
Sure.
Carbuncle's throne, does it still smell like him?
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. I would say it does, but faintly.
Okay. As Skogul is doing his once over, he sees Ettin pulling up her pants around the corner of the throne.
Awesome.
I think he's kind of like amazed that this giant tamed the giant bat. So I think for a little bit he was kind of sitting in the corner, like watching Skogul's efforts. His hearing has returned, but his head is still a little bit fuzzy. So I think he's maybe been stealing some nibbles of food from the cache that the Descenders left. He's kind of like trying to look busy by himself, like over here, just like, and then he'll just like peck down and then like stand up and like look around to see. And he's not trying to be disrespectful, but
Sure.
He's hungry.
Yeah.
And he can probably stomach some of these like rations that have gone bad a little bit better than the other members, because he's used to eating whatever the fuck he finds on the ground. So he's also watching Ettin because he really is not sure about trusting her, like leading her back to where they live, but he also doesn't think that he can fight her. So he's feeling like there's not really a choice. Like he tried to play like there was like, oh, I'm a big bat, but like he was gonna do it anyways because he can't leave and not expect that she's gonna follow him.
Yeah. Okay.
He's kind of feeling a little bit trapped, but he's also just trying to stay calm. It's better than being with Mance. He would rather be with Ettin than Monster Manuel.
I think anyone would rather be with that than Monster Manuel.
So he's kind of thinking like maybe she's the one who can fucking take this dude down, and if not, then that at least one threat is gone if they fight it out.
Okay.
So
who leads the way as you all depart?
I think he would have to because he knows where they're going.
Woo.
And that's the end of that chapter. We met a bunch of new people, and Skogul finally proved his worth to Ettin. Don't forget that name Monster Manuel now. It won't be the last you've heard of him. Come on back now. The horrors of this prison have just only begun to unfold.